Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Nightcap. For the first time in NBA history, all the road teams won game one. We've had 2 of 4. We've had 3 of 4. We've never had all 4 win, and that's what happened. And a couple of them won in dramatic fashion. We're going to get to that in just a moment. Thank you guys for joining us again. I am your favorite unk, Shannon Sharpe, my partner and co-host, the Liberty City legend, the Bingo Ring of Fame honoree, the Pro Bowler, the All-Pro. That's Chad Ochocinco Johnson. And our special guest tonight to talk about basketball is a 10-year NBA vet, Pasadena native, UCLA alum, a 7-foot-plus high jumper. Yes, here he is, Mr. Ryan Hollins. Ryan, thank you. And he calls games for the Houston Rockets. Ryan, thank you for joining us tonight. We can't wait to get your input on a lot of these games. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit the like button and go subscribe to the Nightcap podcast feed wherever you get your podcast from. Thank you guys for supporting Nightcap. Thank you for your continued support, because thanks to you, we get to do, Ocho and I get to do what we do. And all the awards that are behind us, Ocho have them in his place, I have them in mine, was because of you, because you believe in us. So thank you very much from the bottom of our heart. Make sure you check out Shea by Laportier. We do have it in stock. Now, if you cannot find Shea by Laportier, it's a premium VSOP, the best VSOP on the market. If you cannot find it in a city or a state near you, order it online. We'll ship it directly to your door. Please drink responsibly and stay safe. Go follow my media company page on all of its platforms, Shay Media, and my clothing company, 84 with 84 being spelled out. That link is pinned in the chat. Supplies are limited, and once they're gone, they're gone. So please get yours while supplies last. Tickets for our Not Safe for Work tour are on sale. 8 stops: Baltimore, Philly, Charlotte, Los Angeles, Miami, NYC, Chicago, and Detroit. Tickets can be found at shayshaymedia.com/tour. That's shayshaymedia.com/tour. Go get your tickets now. Right? We're going to get right into it tonight. The Warriors beat the Wolves, a large part without Steph. Steph left the game early in the second quarter with a hamstring injury, did not return. The Timberwolves tonight, Naz Reid was 3 of 7 from 3. Everybody else was 2 of 22. And they did not get off to the best start shooting the basketball. And as Chris Finch said, our transition decisions making was diabolical. He said the poor shooting affected their confidence in overall play. It starts with Anthony Edwards. You can see the light go out, and for a little while, now he did get it going in the second half. He had 23 points, 14 rebounds. It just took him 22 shots to get those 23 points, and that's not nearly good enough, because outside of Ant-Man, Julius Randle was 4 of 11. Jaden Daniels was 6 of 12. Rudy Gobert was 4 of 7. Mike Conley got some great cardio in tonight. But DiVincenzo, 3 of 11. Nikhil Walker-Alexander had 14 minutes. He got some great cardio in. And even Shannon Jr., he got cardio in. Only got 2 minutes on the bike, Ocho, but he got a little cardio in, so he only have to do 18 minutes on the bike after the game, because he did get 2 minutes of cardio. Ryan, I'm going to start with you on this. You watched this game and you was like, okay, the Warriors might be in trouble. Steph going out, and looked like he had it going, looked like he was headed towards a monster night. He had 13 points in about 13 minutes, so it looked like it was going to be one of those nights. Draymond got off, hit 4 of his 5 first threes, but you know what? I'll let Draymond have that. I just don't want Steph. Buddy, he'll get going. What did you like about what you saw from the Warriors tonight?
Man, the first thing they could have did, he could have pulled that hamstring on Sunday. Last Sunday, he could have pulled that hamstring. We'd be having a whole different conversation now. Okay, let's get that out there right now, first and foremost. But, man, I don't think people understand and give Golden State the credit defensively. They are sound. They're smart. Steve Kerr will get out there and switch defenses. I saw stuff I've never seen in the series against Houston, against our guys. He ran 3-2 zone. He ran 1-3-1 in the NBA. That's something you never see, to take away the elbows. And he doesn't mind switching stuff. He'll go play big. He'll go small. And right now, one thing he's doing, he's daring Rudy Gobert. He's saying, I'm going to put Jimmy Butler, I'm going to put Draymond. We're not putting a guy above 6'8" on you. And he's really challenging Gobert to score the ball inside the paint. Now, against Şengün and Steven Adams, he went big. You saw a lot of Quentin Post. You didn't see Quentin Post tonight. You saw Kevon Looney and Draymond. You know, you saw both those guys in the lineup. I'm going to make this very clear. They're not going to win this series without Steph Steph Curry. He's going to have to get back, depending how bad that hamstring is. And I've never seen Steph go down. And it's funny, man. We were talking about this the other day with Steph. If you watch him play, I don't know. He must run 3 to 4 to 5 miles every possession he's running. So finally, that hamstring, went out. Yeah, but at the end of the day, Chad, I don't see a reality where Anthony Edwards struggles that bad offensively. They got to find ways to get him going. And ultimately, in game one, it was a lot of rust. The positive, when you play 7-game series, you're fresh, you're ready, the juices are going. But I saw rust from Minnesota.
Ocho, what'd you think about what you saw? Because like he said, I don't think Ant-Man hit a jump shot all night long. Everything that he got was going to the basket or it was from the free throw line. He was terrible from the three-point line. What was he from the three-point line? Oh, he did make one. He was 1 of 5 from the three. He was 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 9 of 22 from the floor overall. He did have 14 rebounds. But the thing that they didn't allow him to do, they made him incredibly inefficient, and they didn't look at his assist total. 2. Remember when he played the Lakers? 11 assists, 9 assists. So not only is he getting his points, he's allowing everybody else to get involved. Tonight, Golden State did a great job of limiting him, making it hard for him to get anything. He couldn't get anything from the jump shot, the three-point line. He got some driving baskets in the second half, but it wasn't nearly enough. So the Timberwolves, you like Ant-Man. What is it that you didn't see that you want to see in order for them to win this series moving forward?
I mean, actually going forward, the Wolves are going to have Ant-Man has to be on. He has to be on fire. He has to be the leader and go out there and not only facilitate, but take a game over. You know, it is only game one. And honestly, from what I saw, I knew Steph was getting hot when he was playing. But when he went out and he tweaked that hamstring a little bit, I'm like, okay, this is the perfect opportunity for the Wolves to get back in the game, or at least make it a close game. And that's what I thought it would be, towards the end. I thought they would have opportunity to come back, but obviously Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green kind of led the way. Buddy Hield helped as well in making sure that didn't happen. But
he got going in that second half.
He got going in the second half. Look, it's only game one. It's only game one. So I'm expecting, Anthony Edwards and the rest of that crew collectively to have a better game, especially Ant-Man I think everybody's going to feed off his energy and how he plays, so everything starts with him.
I mean, you think about it. Minnesota scored 11 points in the second quarter. Warriors almost outscored them in the second quarter. The Warriors scored 26 points in the second quarter. They had 31 points at the half, Minnesota did. I don't know if I've ever seen a team be this poor in an entire quarter, 12-minute quarter. Ryan, I don't know. When's the last time you see somebody score just 11 points in a quarter in today's game? Now, maybe when the game was physical, hell, I mean, I remember games being 73-68, 70-65. But in today's game, when it's up and down, I don't know if I've seen this anemic of a quarter from a team.
This is the thing that you got to understand. You must have missed our series, man. They defend, and Golden State more than anybody, they don't funnel you into a big because the big is Draymond. They just square you off and they keep you in front. It's old school basketball, and they force a contest. And then you bring Jimmy Butler in. Jimmy can play both ways. So they got size and they're switchable. And then, Kerr will come in with guys off the bench, but they're elite because it's a different style than you're used to seeing. And even when Curry's out there, Curry's put on so much muscle. He's stronger. They're deep into their scout report. If there's a weakness that you have, you can argue they may be the smartest team in the NBA defensively. So it's not a surprise. And on the other end, this is my challenge to Anthony Edwards. Now, he's going to shoot the ball better just by his God-given ability. When he learns how to truly play the game and manipulate defenses, he is going to be he's going to be unstoppable. And what do I mean by that? Luka Doncic can't jump over a phone book, but he can manipulate defense. You know what I'm saying? Like Luka Doncic is going to find a bad matchup. He's going to pull you into a pick and roll, use the angle, and get it. Ant-Man playing on all heart right now. It's all heart. But when he learns how to run the pick and roll, find the poor matchup, see how they're playing him, you can't guard him, so he's made strides and the game is going to come so much more easier to him. But again, that was rust. And like Chad said, Chad, it's almost impossible. We're going to expect him to go into the next game and play that bad. And you're going to have to see, here's the problem, Chad. I don't know how both of y'all feel about this. Now you're going to have to ask Jimmy Butler to do a lot more than he's been doing. Jimmy Butler's been playing heavy minutes, but he's been saving himself.
Mm-hmm.
He had 11 rebounds tonight. He had 8 assists tonight, as you mentioned. Because first of all, Draymond is a point, whatever you call him. He's a point center, point forward, whatever you want to call him. Because he initiates a lot of their offense. That's not what Curry does. Curry spends his time being in perpetual motion, running from side to side, coming off picks, coming off spin downs, and things of that nature. He's not really initiating their offense. That role goes to Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. So now with Curry being out, you're probably going to ask Jimmy to do a little bit more of the scoring. He can't be as much as a facilitator because he had Curry taking a lot of that scoring role. Now, if Curry's going to be out, you're going to ask him to do more. He's more than capable of doing that because we saw him for a number of years in Miami do some of everything. Go get you 50. If you need 15, 16 rebounds, go get you that. You need double-digit assists, he can get you that. And so I agree with you, Ryan. I think he's going to have to be more of everything. He's going to have to be that guy, what we saw LeBron be for a lot of those years. Maybe lead the team in points, rebounds, assists, hell, maybe steal, block shots, because he has that ability. Right. It's going to be very interesting to see how the Wolves respond to this because they had it fairly easy. For the most part, look, the Lakers would always choke it off, and they would get some confidence going, and the next thing you know, Ant-Man get hot, everybody catch fire shooting a three. They was 5 of 29 tonight. Now, they made the 5th most threes, but they weren't a great three-point shooting team against the Lakers. They just got hot in spells, and that was good enough to carry them over. Ant-Man did what he did, but you got Jaden Daniels averaging 22, 23 points a game, and you see tonight he had 12. You had Julius Randle giving you 22 and 6 and 5. He had 18 tonight. So everybody played below their average against the Lakers. And I don't know if this effort tonight, they're going to have to find something because I like what you said, Ryan. The Warriors are a team. They don't beat themselves. They make you beat them. Mm-hmm. So if you think they're going to make silly mistakes, Ocho, by turning the ball over, being caught out of position, you don't see them pointing to like, bro, I thought you had that. I thought you were supposed to show. I thought you was going to hedge. I thought we was going to switch this. You don't see them doing a lot of that. Right. They know exactly what they're going to do according to what you're going to do. And if you beat them, you beat them. Yeah. But they're not going to make those silly ticky-tack mistakes that you're like, damn, well, we made a lot of mistakes out there. That's not what they do.
Yeah. Well, one thing also I want to touch on is you say when you beat the Warriors, you got to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. And we talk about Anthony Edwards and that cast collectively having a better shooting game and shooting above what their percentage is to even have a chance to win. But are we even worried a little bit about the Warriors? With Curry's hamstring being out going into game 2, or do you think Jimmy Butler, Buddy Hield, and Draymond can carry the load?
Hey, Chad, I'm going to tell you one thing.
Yeah.
As fatigued as he is at his age, he might be back game 3 or 4. Now, the goal right now, if you're Golden State and Steve Kerr, and you know this, you stole that game. So now you can rest.
I can steal a rest game.
Yes. When Jimmy Butler went out against Houston, they were able to rest because they won a game and they were able to get him back. So if you're Golden State, you're saying if we can get him back by game 3 or 4 and not rush it because we stole a game, which means even we just need to get one at home, and now we still got a series. That's the biggest thing. I want to touch on something you said. Anthony Edwards wasn't pressured against the Lakers. It was man-to-man, but
let him play one-on-one.
He played one-on-one, but he pretty much zoned the weak side because they don't have the ability to pressure the basketball. Golden State got up and pressured Anthony Edwards. Okay, Gary Payton II is a dog. Okay, he can guard you. Draymond can guard you. So they showed bodies, and they're saying, kick it to somebody else. Naz Reid was wide open. McDaniels was wide open for 3 because I can help and recover to those guys. They don't have a knockdown shooter if it's not Mike Conley in that situation.
Yeah, because you look at Julius Randle, 0 for 3. Jaden McDaniels, 0 for 3. Mike Conley, 0 for 2. Anthony Edwards, 1 for 5. Dante DiVincenzo, 1 for 7. Alexander Walker, 0 for 2. So at that point in time, Golden State says, you know what? Hey, guys, let's not chase them off the line. Let's leave them at the line because they ain't going to be able to throw it in the ocean anyway. So we running out there getting out of position. And this is what's surprising a lot of people might not realize. To be a small team, Golden State is a great rebounding team. They out-rebounded Minnesota by 10 with Rudy Gobert, with Julius Randle, with Naz Reid, with Ant-Man, with Jaden McDaniels. Let that sink in because if you look at them side by side, you're like, damn, Rudy Gobert looked like Goliath. Julius Randle 6'9". So I mean, the tallest player that they in the starting lineup is probably Draymond and Jimmy Butler at 6'7". You got Steph Curry 6'2", 6'3" maybe, Buddy Hield, but they get you out of position because you're scrambling trying to run guys off the 3-point line. Yeah. They miss and they know what about the carry is and they get the ball. But they're scrappy, they're tenacious. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, Chad, the reason they don't give up those rebounds, and we talked about it earlier, they stay on the body. It's hard to beat them off the bounce. And even when you beat them, they stay in the play. So now you're bodies on bodies. When I can get bodies on bodies and box you out, it's old school basketball. Steve Kerr coaching old school basketball. So that's why they're so dominant on the glass. And then on the other end, here's my fear, Chad. And I don't know how you feel about this. When Curry's running around, you got to give attention. You got to give two to the ball. That opens up Buddy Hield. That opens up the other guys. It opens up Jimmy. But even though Jimmy Butler doesn't want to shoot, he got free space. That free space is going to go away. And this is my key going forward. The Timberwolves are excellent when they can turn you over. They're young. They're athletic. They play off energy. And Golden State is doing what? Chad, they holding the back. Chad, you watching, they hold the basketball. Yeah. You're going to see them shoot by design. And normally in basketball, Chad, you wouldn't want to see this. It's almost like in football. Y'all don't want to play that team that's going to defend and just hold the ball. They hiking the ball at the last. That's Golden State. They shooting the ball at 5 seconds, 8 to 5 seconds every possession. So they push the game out in time.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they're the total opposite of Indiana. If you look at Indiana, they're looking to push tempo, make a miss, take it out of the or we get it off the rim. But you look at it, in 4 dribbles, they got somebody. If you're not careful, they got somebody laying the ball up in the basket. You look at Steve Kerr. He says Steph Curry is day to day, and we'll get an MRI tomorrow. Obviously, he's crushed. Buddy Hield, game 1, 24 points, 5 made threes. He's hit 14-3 in his previous 2 games. And he won them game 7 because he caught fire and they didn't have an answer for it. And tonight, the second half, when you saw Minnesota started to make a run, it was him, boom, boom, boom in the third quarter. And when they cut it, Ryan you and Ocho, you remember in the fourth quarter, I think they had got it down to 8. Yeah. He made a 2-pointer, and then he came right back down and made a 3 and pushed it right back to 13, and they really never challenged after that. But Buddy is playing. I mean, look, he could always shoot the ball. If you look at him where he is now, as far as 3-pointers, he's ahead of where Curry was at the same point in time in their careers. Now, I'm not saying he's going to catch Curry. I'm not saying he's a better shooter. But I'm saying Steph came in and started this revolution or this evolution, whatever term you want to use. And so now guys are coming in and they're getting up more threes. And so now you might have, when it's all said and done, Ryan, you might have 3 guys that made 10 guys that made 3,000 threes in a career.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you this about Buddy Hield, and here's the challenge, Chad. I don't know if you were this type of guy, Chad, in your career, but Buddy Hield is not great at being the second or third option. He's a guy that has to get his touches. And Steve Kerr made a genius plan because what he did in that game 7 against Houston, he said we need a third option. And it wasn't going to be Kuminga. It wasn't Podziemski. And Podziemski's a dog. I like him, man. He got an old school style of play. Yeah. But he said, Buddy Hield, play what fits you best, and it paid off. Chad, were you one of those guys? Could you be second? I know you and TJ were
Matter of fact,
you know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, you
No,
think
but
about
Ocho,
it.
he might could play second, but you had to get Ocho is like most number one receivers. Get him the ball early,
Getting
you
the
can
ball.
have him late. You can't
But
dilly-dally around with him and wait till the second quarter or the third quarter to try to feed him the ball. Give him a smoke, give him a quick out, give him a slant, let him touch the ball. If you let him touch the ball early, you can have him late.
I'm good the
But
rest of
you're
the game.
probably going to lose him if you don't give him the ball till late in the second quarter, right before the half of the third.
Chad, I'm not calling you Buddy
Yeah,
Hill.
no, no,
That's
no,
not what I'm
no.
doing. But he
Matter of
needs
fact,
his touches, and you can
yeah,
speak to that, a guy who
yeah.
wants the ball early.
Like a small example I can think about when I stood on the table when T.O. had the opportunity to come to Cincinnati. I told Marvin, I told Mike Brown, I say, listen, we got to get him in here. I have no problem taking the back seat. I have no problem being number 2, understanding the greatness that's getting ready to come, into the receiver room. Now at that point, common goddamn sense. This is one of the best of all time. I don't care how good I am right now in Cincinnati. I'm finna take a back seat to T.O. I'm taking the back seat, and I had no problem with it. So at some point, obviously, just like you said, at Burkowski and Carson, they knew to give me my touches early, and the offense ran really well. Hell, but just that year we went 4-12, so we still were sorry.
Chad, I'm still mad at y'all over that. Both y'all, my friend, I'm still mad at y'all over that. Okay, I'm still mad at y'all over that team. That Cincinnati
I don't know.
team.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened that year.
But Pacers still game 2 in Cleveland. Only 3 teams have come back down 7 in the last minute of a playoff game since 1997. The Thunder did it on May 13th, 2014. The Pacers did it April 29th, 2025, which was 7 days ago. The Pacers also did it May 6th, 2025, which was tonight. Ocho, remember we talked about it.
Yep.
Another six guys in double figures. You got Siakam, 12, Nesmith, 23, Turner, 23, Nembhard, 13, Haliburton, 19, Mathurin, 19. You see? You don't know. You just know it's a committee. Now, you don't know who's going to be the lead, who's going to be the president, who's going to adjourn the meeting, but you know these guys are going to, and they did an unbelievable job. I believe in a situation like this, Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong. Look, yeah, the other team has to make a lot of mistakes, but in order for you to steal a game with 50 seconds left and you're down by 7, you got to make everything right. You got to miss a free throw and get a rebound and get an and-one. You see Mathurin, they missed a free throw, he dunk it home. Okay, now Haliburton make one, he missed the next one, he get it, boo, 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 out for a 3. Everything that could have gone wrong for the Cavs struggled all night getting the ball in. There were a couple of times they could have got some violations, and then I don't know what happened. He just threw the ball right to Nembhard. Nembhard said, thank you very much, but they're in trouble. I think this series is over, and it's going to be the most epic collapse because a team that won this many games to possibly get swept. I can see them getting swept, Ryan. I don't know if you see that. You got some glasses on? Put them glasses on so you can see if you can see what I see. Because I damn sure see them getting swept.
Hey, Chad, I called this before I seen it. And this is what's crazy. The Indiana Pacers are the most underrated team in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
They're a team. Chad, last year they went to the Eastern Conference Finals, and everybody said it was for injuries. Listen, man, Rick Carlisle, Nembhard, McConnell, they got some dogs over there. It's not the sexiest, okay? They don't got the 40-inch vert. Mathurin is athletic. Siakam's athletic. But other than that, they just are tough, hard-nosed players. And the way that the NBA is played now that it's shifting to, it was a game of athletes, a bunch of three-point shooting. Now it's a game of toughness and skill. Indiana has toughness and skill. They move the basketball on, like you talked about, and Haliburton. Hey, man, hold on, man. They need to put some respect on Haliburton's name.
They call him the most overrated player in the NBA.
Let me tell you something. From schematically, there's only a handful of guys that can manipulate the game. Chris Paul, I played with Chris. Chris was one of those guys that can do it. In the NBA now, it's LeBron. It's Luka Doncic and James Harden when he's on his A game. Tyrese Haliburton can manipulate the game. What do I mean by that? He's the guy that can beat you with the pass, and he can beat you with the shot. And when you take one away, he's going to make the correct play. So we're looking at the stat sheet. He got 19 points, 4 assists in the game winner, and he's got the clutch gene. He finds a way. It's not the prettiest game. It's not the prettiest. He's
That
the guy
shot.
get let. Hey, he's the guy, right? It's the Kevin Martin. He got a little Kevin Martin in him, right?
Yeah.
But he's a dog and he finds a way. But Chad, am I crazy to where I called this before it happened? I got it on record. I called it. Am I crazy to say that skill is going to outweigh the athletes in the size? And obviously, give credit to the Cavaliers. They choked the game up, but they had injuries. They had guys missing. Donovan Mitchell drops 48 points in the game. And at the end of the day, if I'm Donovan Mitchell, I say, I dropped 48. That's all I can do to will my team to win. And we couldn't win. We sick. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
For me, Ocho, I thought the game could have been even closer. I mean, think about it. Siakam had 8 shots. He's your all-star. Haliburton had 11 shots. Think about how many of those shots came in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what are y'all doing? I mean, nobody took more. Miles Turner had the most shots. He had 17. They only had 85. They shot almost 52% from the floor. If they take better care of the basketball, I mean, Nembhard had 8 turnovers, so he had almost half of the turnovers. If they do a better job taking care of the basketball, I'm not so sure Cleveland get out to that lead. But Cleveland, as the game got close, I mean, they were up big, and every time, here come Indiana. Here come Indiana. They go up by 18, 19. Here come Indiana, will it down to 9. They go back up by 13. They cut it back down to 7. And I was like, okay, now, y'all mess around. Y'all, hey, you play with fire. Because y'all letting them guys, they like, hey, man, we right here. We make a couple of plays. We get a couple of stops. You know how you get in the huddle? Hey, we make a stop right here. Get a ball, Ocho, get a ball back to our offense.
Yeah.
Hey, who knows what can happen? And that's what happened. They messed around and let them get close. Hey, and you hit that 3-point shot, it's like, it's a 1-point game.
Yeah.
And Haliburton got the rebound. Hey, he dribbled out. He got the matchup that he wanted. Guy was work. Hey, I ain't giving you the 3. If you go to the basket and lay it up and tie it up, I'm not giving you that. I'm not.
Yeah.
But look, like I said, Neesmith had 23. He played really well. 4 rebounds, 3 blocks. Miles Turner, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 5 blocks. Tyrese Haliburton, 19 points, 9 rebounds. The game winner, the series shift to Indy on Friday. You're talking about a team that 64 games and could possibly get swept. Have we ever had a team win so many games to get swept? Maybe that 94 Supersonics team, they didn't get swept, but they got beat by the 8 seed the Denver Nuggets. But to get swept at 64 wins?
Mm-hmm. Well, honestly, listen, when you talk about them having 64 wins, you got to remember tonight they didn't have key contributors. Darius Garland's out, Evan Mobley, DeAndre Hunter's out. So those 64
were they out when
wins
they had that 20-point lead? Or they just went out once they got the lead and just say,
no, they came in injured. They came in injured. They came in injured.
So they had a 20-point lead with those guys on the bench, right?
So that's why Donovan had 48 because he had to do more.
Yeah,
I give him that. But see, are we surprised that Donovan's had 57 in the playoff game? Him and Jamal Murray both had 50 in the playoff game.
Right.
We don't think about how many times he scored 30 in a playoff game. I think in 5 of his 7 games with the Cavs, he's had at least 30. We know he's a scoring machine. But as long as he got how many? Hold up, he
was 15 for 30. 15 for 30.
Yeah, I can live with that. Hey, that's efficient. That's 50%.
He was open.
He didn't shoot the 3 ball well, and he had 9 assists.
Yeah.
So he did all he could do, but you can't turn the ball over in situations like that. You can't leave guys open. You just can't make the mistakes.
Right.
You got to win that game. You can't play. I don't believe they can play any better, Ryan. With the guys that they have missing, they can't play any better than what they played tonight, and they don't have anything to show for that performance that Donovan gave you.
100%. And this was Indiana's mindset. Let me speak to something that you two can't speak to, okay? Y'all was first options, Hall of Fame. I was a role player, okay? So let me speak to the role players. You can give energy. You can bring life. They played like their backs were against the wall, but as things get tighter, you need your stars. Now, Donovan did his job, but Darius Garland is the other closer on that team. He's the guy you put the ball in his hands, and he's the playmaker. Things happen on the backside. So the role players, the heart was there, but as things got tighter, where were they going to go with the basketball? And Donovan could do too much. So for Indiana, they were patient. They just said, where's your offense going to keep coming from? So, the energy, the excitement, and when you have a guy go out, and you saw this with Golden State, you galvanize behind it. I think when Steph Curry went out, Draymond Green, is known as a non-shooter, future Hall of Famer, by the way. I think Draymond hit 3 or 4 straight three-pointers in a row. So you saw the energy from the role players, but as a role player, when the game is getting tight, I'm looking at Chris Paul. Okay, I'm looking at Paul Pierce. I'm looking to those guys, and they not on the floor. We going, fellas, we can only run so much offense. And it's funny. There's a saying, it's not about the X's and O's, is about the Jimmys and Joes. You have to have players in those situations. So no disrespect to the guys on the floor for Cleveland, but Donovan Mitchell alone wasn't enough. And the thing is, you got a well-oiled machine over there with the Pacers, and they just let it get tighter, and then they took their moment.
And because they're home, and the fans, when you have a lead, and all of a sudden it starts to dissipate, the fans can feel that too, because everything is no. And all of a sudden it seemed like the basket had a lid on it. Max Strus played unbelievable tonight. 5 of 12 from the 3. He ended up taking off from outside the lane and flushing it home. He was hyped. I thought Ty Jerome played well. Merrill hit a couple big threes. Allen had 22-12 with 3 blocks. But at the end of the day, as that game, you up 20. And all of a sudden you look up and there's like 15 seconds and you only got a 3-point lead. You don't feel as good as you once did.
Nah.
You don't feel as good as you once did. You're like, damn, we about to let this ish slip away.
Check this out, Chad. When I played in Dallas, so Dirk, Jason Kidd, Jason Terry, a team would have a lead on us, and we would go on the road, and we would live for these moments almost. You know what I'm saying? I'm inserting myself as a role player into these situations. Now we're going to do this. But the one thing you would say is, oh, they getting tight. I'm not going to say the words we were saying on the bench. But we were saying they're getting tighter and tighter. Watch them get tight. Those arms, the T-Rex arms come out, the pressure mounts, and you just looking for one crack. Heck, look, man, I'm going to call it for what it is. The reason I'm so passionate about giving LeBron the respect I give him is because we had them down 3-1. LeBron was not LeBron at that point. He wasn't King James. He was calling himself King James, but he wasn't King James yet. And what he did coming into Boston with our team and our guys, and we kept waiting for that moment for LeBron to shrink. We had Wade figured out, with all due respect to Dwayne Wade. We had great Avery was doing an excellent job. We had him figured out. And LeBron took over in that game, and he willed his team to victory on the championships, and the rest is history from there. But Chad, have you been in a situation where you're saying, give us the ball back. It's game. Give us the ball back. It's game.
Defense make a play.
If anything, especially a situation like that where it's a pressure situation and it gets tight, Unc would be better suited to say that because he's been in bigger games. He's been in bigger games, playoffs and stuff.
Oh yeah, because we had one of the best pressure packed quarterbacks in NFL history. Absolutely. And that's what he was known for. So we knew if the defense could get a stop, it didn't matter. If we're down 14 with 5 minutes to go and they had the ball, we got to stop. We're going to go down and score quickly. Defense get us one more stop. Get us off the field. We get that ball back. Oh, we gonna get a touchdown to beat you. We're gonna find a way to beat you because I've been in that moment too many times. And they know it. See, here's the thing is that when you have somebody and they know it, they know what you know. God, man, they got. Did you hear when Atlanta? When Atlanta had that 23-point lead, I think it was Sanu was on the sideline. He's like, "Hey man, that's Brady over there." They know what's over there. You up 23-8, and you still worried about the man.
Yeah,
because
let me ask both of y'all this: what's it gonna take for Tyrese Haliburton to get that respect? Because he just did it to Giannis. He didn't come out the East, but he got what's it going to take for Haliburton? And this was league-wide fan. They chanted overrated at the game. He addressed it in the press and said, overrate that. What's it going to take for him, in your mind, Chad, to get that respect? And is there anybody that you knew that was getting that overrated tag and what they do to get over it?
That's crazy. I think it might actually be where he's playing.
Mm.
I really think it might be where he's playing. And outside of that's it. And obviously, he's an all-star, and then the group of players that he's combined with when it comes to all-star, his game isn't pretty. It isn't pretty like everyone else's.
He ain't Steph.
Yeah.
He ain't Luka.
Yeah.
He don't play above the rim like Ja.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So he's not going to be what all the guys that I mentioned. James Harden, like you said, James can go give you 50. Steph can give you 50. Luka, Luka, you seen Luka give you a 60-20 triple-double.
Yeah.
Ja can play elevate above the rim. So you look at the guy that plays the position. I don't know how many guys you're taking. I mean, you might take him over Ja, but are you taking him over Steph? No, you're not taking him over Luka. Are you taking him over Shea?
Oh, I gotta hear that. You said you taking him over Ja. Haliburton and Ja. You said you taking Haliburton.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Masking.
I'm saying of the guys that I mentioned, you're not taking him over Shea. You're not taking him over Luka. You're not taking him over Steph. So I'm not. The only reason I would say you probably take him over Ja is because of Ja's injury history. Because I can't count on Ja.
If you take injury history out, and you
I
look at the
can't
team,
because he injured half the time.
similar teams though. Did you say that he got Pascal Siakam? Memphis.
JJ, he got Triple J.
Triple J. They're pretty similar.
Yeah.
So I know you can't take out injury history, right? If we take away the flashy play, Chad, Ja has the flashy plays. No disrespect. I'm not trying to shoot disrespect no way.
Yes.
But are you taking Haliburton? Are you taking Haliburton over Ja?
Absolutely not.
Listen,
I like Haliburton. I think one of the reasons why he got that underrated label is simply, for one, with the team he plays on, and two, even though he's efficient and he gets the job done at a high level, it's just something about his game. It's not pretty. It's not as pretty. It's not as aesthetically as pleasing as everybody else's. When you watch a Ja, when you watch a James Harden or a Steph Curry or Luka,
because all the guys, point guards. Ocho, what you're saying is all the guys that we mentioned can go get you 50.
100%.
I mean,
Shea can go get you 50.
You don't think Haliburton
Luka can get you 50? Huh?
You don't think Haliburton can get you 50, 40?
No. Has he ever? What's the most points Haliburton scored in the game?
He get you 40. He get you.
Listen,
I think he get you 40.
He
get you 40. He get you 40.
You heard me? Hey, he'll get you a quiet 40, and it's gonna be ugly too.
But here's the thing. But think about Shea. Look out Shea. How many times did Shea had the most 20, 30, 40, 50-point games? We've seen Luka. We've seen Luka drop 70 plus. So we know he can go get 50. We've seen Steph do it. We've seen Steph do it in the game 7. We've seen Steph do it at 30, at 36, 37 years of age.
Yeah.
The most points he's had, how many times have he scored 40 in the game? He got 3 40-point games. Shea had, 10 of those this year?
Here's the thing too, Chad. And I don't know if you know a quarterback like this or a wide receiver. He plays the right way. So here's the reality. When he has the ball, this is not a sexy play for a star point guard. Pick the ball ahead of the floor. Pick the ball ahead of the floor. Jason Kidd was similar to that. He's a different build, but you can say you might not get the assist, but it's the right play. Haliburton's going to make the right play, and he just showed you tonight he's clutch. So, and I feel like, I'm going to insert LeBron in this, be honest. LeBron don't get a lot of the praise from the people. Obviously, he may not be a cup of tea. He's not what we grew up seeing as the GOAT, but LeBron will make the correct play.
Always.
Haliburton's a guy who will always make the correct play. Obviously, he sat the bench for Team USA. Obviously, during the regular season, they looked pedestrian. They couldn't guard the seat we sitting in. The Indiana Pacers look abysmal in moment, okay? But they're in the Eastern Conference. But he's going to make the right play. Chad, are we faulting him for making the right play? Is there anybody that you can think of, even on the NFL side, that makes the correct play and they don't get the respect because they make the right play?
We like ball hogs. You know we like somebody ball hogging the ball. And the thing is with Haliburton, he doesn't turn the ball over. How many times have we seen him have 15 assists and no turnovers? How many times have we seen him have double-digit assists in 1 or 2 or fewer turnovers? So as much as he handles the ball, he's very efficient at not turning it over. My point is, I would like to see him be more aggressive. Sometimes, bro, you had 11 shots. And for the longest time, you had 6. And I'm like, bro, come on now. Come on, bro, you've got to give them more. And then you see in that fourth quarter, he gave them more. He gave them an opportunity. Guys made play. Matburn made some, and Neesmith made some big threes. That putback dunk that Matburn had on that missed free throw. But I look, I ain't got no problem with Haliburton, but I understand we like Flash. We like Magic Johnson. Ain't nobody can think about it. How many people they got right now? John Stockton, he got more assists. His record is never going to be broken. Ain't nobody probably got John Stockton in the top 5 in point guards. Because everybody, they like, okay, I got Magic, I got Steph Curry, I got Isaiah Thomas. They got so many guys in front of him because he wasn't flashing. All he did was pick and roll your ass to death.
He was fundamentally sound.
Yes, but I like Hallie's game. And you look, okay, you say, well, he sat the bench. Okay, I mean, you go, who is he gonna play in front of? He got a gold medal though.
Yeah.
Hey, also, you say about Haliburton really not being aggressive, only having 11 shots. You got to think everybody else in double figures too. So he ain't really got to do much because everybody else collectively is also being efficient and scoring and contributing. Honestly, I don't even know how the hell they won that game. If you told me the score was, I think at one point I can't forget.
It was 119. It was 119. It was 119 to 112.
All right. No, I mean, what's the biggest deficit they were down?
Oh, they was down. I think they was down by like 20.
20. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought the game was over. I thought the game was over at that point. That's it. There's no way they're coming back. Even with the injuries, with Hunter and Garland being out.
Now, Chad, how about this? They just did that to Milwaukee, Chad. They had a crazy game like that against when they ended Milwaukee.
And Hallie laid it up at the end.
Yeah, it's a crazy Chad. They kind of did the same. Now, 20 points, you right though, Chad, but they did similar with Milwaukee.
Yeah. You right.
They did.
Right. Listen, I understand the game of basketball. It's a game of runs most of the time, especially when you make substitutes and things change once your second level, your second tier guys come in the game. But 20 points, I'm thinking you're supposed to find a way to keep that lead.
It used to be like that, Ocho.
Especially after you already gave up one game. They already stole one game from you. You got to find a way to keep it. And then they come back and you allow the one person that you don't want shooting the ball.
Facts. The ball bounced on him.
But you know what, Ryan? And you can attest to this. It used to be like that when you got these big leads. For the most part, the game was over. But with that 3-point shot, and there's so many guys that can shoot it now, you're really never out of a ball game, Ocho. We see teams be down 25, 26 points in the first half and lose. Right. A team that's down 20 points in the third quarter and lose a ball game because that 3-point shot is an equalizer. So if I hit a couple of those and you have a couple of bad possessions, a 20-point lead, I make 3 threes and 2 layups, guess what? That's 9 plus 4, that's 13. I've cut the lead in 3 minutes down to 7.
Hey, listen, we just saw a team. We didn't get to it yet. We just saw a team that lives by the 3, die by it too, by not being able to hit it.
Yep.
I'm gonna give you guys the goal real quick for one, and I don't know how you feel about this. This decade's San Antonio Spurs is the Golden State Warriors. Steve Kerr will adapt to who he plays with. He wins with who's on the floor. And y'all just talked about not choking away a lead. They got the lead on the road. Steph Curry's in the back, icing up.
Yeah.
They held the ball. Watch Golden State. Can y'all say, how did they hold them to 16 points in a set? They hold the ball and they shoot with 8 to 5 seconds on the clock. Now, I'm going to give you some credit, Chad, for something you gave earlier. I'm going to give you some credit when you're out. I'm going to give you some credit. You said he needs to score. Haliburton needs to score. I think you said it too. He needs to score to get that type of credit. I'm going to give you a guy who scored the ball and turned his career around, but became a different player. Mike Malone challenged Nikola Jokic to score. He was a right play type of guy. And when he was challenged to go give Rudy Gobert a 50 ball, a 40 ball, or whatever it may be, that changed Nikola Jokic. But Jokic was similar to Haliburton in the sense that He was just going to make the right play,
Make the right play.
make the right play. So he could be a guy, and I hear you. Y'all right in saying that for you to get that attention, for you to speak of you with the Ja and the Steph and the Tatums and everybody, you're gonna have to go give us that consistent 40 ball, that 50 ball when that game is on the line. So you're right, because Jokic, I'm telling you, man, when he got aggressive, and that was always my thing with him, I didn't feel like he could score enough, because when we game plan for Jokic, you come out and say you can't give him both. Either you make him a passer, we blitz him, get the ball out his hands,
or you make him a score.
Or you make him a score.
You can't let him be 30, 20, and 15. Because not so he got 30 points and he dished out 15 assists. You know about 5 to 7 of those are gonna be 3-pointers.
100%.
So now you're at his mercy. Aaron Gordon hit a game-winning 3 against the Thunder. There's been a lot of discussion about this today. Ryan, do you think the Thunder's strategy of filing up 3 with Jokic on the bench? That's what I didn't get. Nikola Jokic, game 1, 42 points. He had 26 in the second half, 22 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks. He became only the 4th player in NBA history to have – no, he's the 4th player, because Wilt did it twice. 40, 20, and 5. Wilt did it twice. Shaq did it. Giannis did it. Now Nikola Jokic has done it. Do you like the strategy? I get the premise, but why would you foul in the backcourt? Why would you foul in the backcourt, Ryan?
It was silly because you allowed Jokic to get back in. It's another play that happened that I don't think we talked enough about. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander cuts to the basket. He's wide open. He dunks the ball. Yeah, you can get those 2. Dribble the clock. Take some more time off. They're not talking about that enough with Shai. Chet Holmgren misses 2 free throws. Here's the reality, and we just saw this with Golden State. The teams that got pressed, the teams that played game 7s, they came in sharp. When you get battle tested, you came in sharp. Okay, see, they had a cakewalk. They walked. Memphis just shut it down, especially when Ja went down. They weren't challenged. So you're going to expect Oklahoma City is going to play better. Dagnall definitely made some mistakes. And it's tough because I don't want to talk about it. My Rockets didn't have the experience. And you're looking at OKC, and it was an experience loss. And you can check. I don't want to say anything bad because Mark has been unbelievable this series about him this season. But you do have to challenge them and say, man, yeah, you could have played that different, and we're going to see everything we need to know about them boys in game 2.
Yeah, you look at, I mean, the thing is, and they had 2 big guys, and Yoke went to work on them. Both of them had at least 5 fouls. And look, you can't stop him. You just hope you can make him inefficient.
Who's the second big guy?
Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet.
Chet's a guard, bro. We're not going to call Chet a big. We're going to call him a guard. Listen, I love Chet. I'm a skinny boy too, okay? I'm a skinny boy. Chet's a guard, bro. He tall, but he a guard. He not big.
No, he ain't trying to bang. Yoke banging.
He's too small to be down there in the block or in the paint anyway.
No, he need to go to some fast food restaurant and get him a couple of burgers and some fries and a shake. You look at Jokic, he's second in points, first in rebounds, first in assists, first in steals. What's up? Look. I mean, what do you say? And I said this before. I believe Shai should win the MVP. But if you say you get one player in the NBA, I'm taking Nikola Jokic. I'm taking him over Giannis. I'm taking him over Luka. I'm taking him over Shai. I'm taking him over anybody because there's nothing that he can't do. If you need a score, he can go give you. He averages 30. You need somebody to rebound, he was third in rebounding. You need somebody to facilitate assist, he's second and third of assists. What can he do that all these other guys can do? Nothing. And he's efficient. Go look at his shooting. Go look at his shooting percentage. He can shoot the 3. He got the mid range. I don't know if I've ever seen a big guy I've never seen a guy, forget big, medium, small, with that kind of touch around the basket. I mean, the way with either hand. I mean, what are we say? What are we watching? What are we saying here?
Nice.
I mean, people try to discredit him. Well, he don't play no defense. I don't care. Because I guarantee you, the guy that he playing, I guarantee you he ain't putting up those numbers. So unless he putting up those numbers and canceling it out, Ocho, don't talk to me about no defense.
Right.
Chad, I'm gonna give you both sides to this. I'm gonna give you both sides. Let's play devil's advocate for a moment, okay? If he gets another championship, which is very realistic, if he gets another championship, as thick as the NBA is, he's gonna be knocking on that GOAT conversation. And we just want to say, Chad,
Go to what position? At center? At center?
the greatest of all time. You can argue with his numbers and his impact on the game. He may be the greatest center that we've ever seen play the game. Chad, because you don't like the way you talk about Haliburton. You don't like the way he does it. You're not used to a guy who can't jump over a phone book. You're not used to that guy. But if you look at his impact, you look at his numbers, you can argue he's the greatest center that we've ever seen right now. Now, his story is yet to be told. And in this generation, the way he manipulates the game, forgive me, I talked about Luka and LeBron, and he impacts the game like they do. He's the point guard. He is in every way the point guard, the influence on his game. Now, I talk cap when they say he had to play with an all-star because he turns Jamal Murray into an all-star at the end of the day. And I want to challenge, because if he gets a championship, he's knocking on the door. And if he gets another person who gets bold enough to say, I want to go to Denver and play with him, it's a different conversation. Now, here's the devil's advocate side of it. He's doing that in this era. If he did that in my era and before, we played with two bigs. We had 4 power forwards on the floor, on your roster. We have 3 to 4 centers on roster. You didn't have the same type of spacing. We would have been physical with him. He would have been back cutting in to help. They wouldn't have had the 3-point shooting or the pace, which helps him out. Guys can lean on him. I don't think he would have been that effective. I don't think it was a game of power and not necessarily finesse. Now, he's the closest thing we have to Arvydas Sabonis, but I can argue and understand both ways. But from a numbers standpoint, or when we argue for Michael Jordan, you argue that Michael dominated his era. The closest thing is Joel Embiid. He did Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert was a 3-4-time defensive. He drops 50 balls on Rudy Gobert. Not 40.
He told Rudy. Rudy said, I got it. They put in the pick, and Rudy said, I got it. He said, brother, I got 47. What you got? you talk about you got me, and Ocho, that's like the DB say, I don't want no help, I got it. Bro, I got 10 for $1.75 and 2 tubs. What you talking about you got me? You better get some help over here. Here's the thing, and this is very, very likely. It's not out of the realm of possibility, Ocho. He gets 2 more regular season MVPs. So now he get 2 more. That makes it 5. As Ryan says, he gets another finals MVP. 5 regular season, 2 finals with the numbers that he's putting up. Now, he just became the first center to average a triple-double. Let that sink in now. We're going to have to
Hold on, y'all. Slow down a little bit now. Let's think about this a little bit now, Ryan and
Talk to me, Chad.
Let's say he does get another ring. Let's say he does win another 2 MVPs. Are we sure we're talking about him being the best big man and center of all time? Even with the centers that we've had, even the greatest now, the Kareem, the Wilt, the Shaqs,
it's so hard to compare eras. It's so hard to compare eras, but you have to say, okay, Kareem dominated the 70s. Moses Malone dominated the 80s.
Right.
I don't know who was the big. I mean, Shaq for Olajuwon or Robinson in the 90s. Right. But Wilt dominated. Wilt dominated the 60s here in Russell's. And so it's hard. But it's hard for us to put the GOAT, say, a center is the GOAT for the simple fact is he needs a guard to get him the ball. So that's why we don't give Kareem the credit. Kareem is the only guy that don't get credit for what he's done.
100%.
He got 6.
100%.
He got
100%.
6 regular season MVPs. He had the most unstoppable shot. You could talk about Kobe's fade away. You could have Dirk one leg step back, he and KD. You could talk about Kobe midi. But the most unstoppable shot in basketball history was one Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the sky hook. Now, he won 6 MVPs. Now, think about what was amazing. Back then, the players voted on the MVP. The players determined who was the MVP.
Damn.
Yeah, you didn't know that, did you, right?
Damn.
Yeah, see, the players voted for the MVP.
So you really got it. When you had a respect of your peers, you really got it.
You
Ain't
that
no
boy.
accident.
And he won it. Think about it. Magic's rookie year, Kareem was MVP. So how is that possible? The MVP, and you win the finals, you win the championship. Magic's rookie year, Magic is finals MVP. Kareem is regular season MVP. But here's the thing. Had Kareem not got hurt, Kareem would have been the finals MVP. Kareem was averaging 33 and 12. Go look it up. He was giving work to Caldwell Jones and Daryl Dawkins, and they had no answer for Kareem. But Kareem ended up. Go look it up. See, I'm old enough to remember that. Okay. See, people try to run game on you, try to put the wool over your eye, but you can't fool on because I'm old enough to remember it.
Okay.
Hey, I had to watch the game the next day because back then the game was tape delayed, Ocho. You couldn't watch it live. Right. So the game come on one day,
right now.
You watch it.
You preaching out.
Yeah. You watch it. Like, God. How's that for you? Already know who won the game, but I'm gonna watch it anyway. Maybe something happened that they didn't tell me about.
And forgive everyone as we had this conversation. Shout out to because we know them, there's us. We're doing this for the simple fact of sports debate. Okay, so let's fancy me. I think Kareem was athletic enough to guard him, but he'd have put Kareem in pick and roll, and he sure as hell can guard Kareem. There's no question. But he'd have moved, he'd have got assists, he'd have, and Kareem was an athlete. When we look at Giannis, if you said Kareem, bring the ball up the floor, go through the make play, he could have done that. He was that skilled. If we're looking at Bill Russell, I think the eras are so far away. I don't even want to disrespect the game and try to compare. Yeah. But in terms of Shaq, we can give this a little bit.
Oh, yeah, Shaq dominated.
And Shaq gave this. But here's the thing. Shaq would have been physical, right? But Shaq wouldn't have guarded him. Robert Horry would have guarded Jokic, and Jokic would have I love Big Shot, right? Hold on, H-Town legend. Rob would have had to hold his ground, but Rob would have had to chase him, and he'd have got his numbers, and Shaq maybe would have had to slide over late. And here's the reality. Arvydas Sabonis with the Portland Trail he was
Jokic before Jokic.
Oh, he wore the Lakers out. You remember that scene? He wore the Lakers out.
Yeah.
So if that's an indicator of him playing, and no disrespect to the big fella, none at all. I love Shaq. Shaq is on my wall. You know what I'm saying? No question there. He would have wore that team out. Now, he couldn't guard Shaq, but you look at the numbers, you look at the impact, and you look at what he did. Now, Shaq is the most dominant. We don't take that away. But as far as the impact, what he would have had, he's a younger Arvydas. Now, Arvydas was more athletic. He was a couple inches taller, but
Arvydas was 7'3". People don't realize how tall he was. He was 7'3". But by the time he got to the Lakers, he had spent much of his time with the unified team. And so by the time he got to the Lakers, his knees were bad. He wasn't that Arvydas. Could he pass the ball? Yeah. Prior to Jokic, he was the best passing big man that we had ever seen.
100%.
But by the time he got here, he had spent damn near over a decade just playing with the unified team. So his body had started to break down on him, Ocho. But he was a tremendous passer. Now, he couldn't score the ball like Jokic. He could not score the ball like Jokic, but he could pass the ball like Jokic. He'd have the ball out here, and the next thing the guy coming, and he would dump it down to him. He was a phenomenal player. But the thing that separates Jokic is that from any other big, the center, is that he could do it from three levels. Most of the guys, Olajuwon had the mid-range. He had played back to the basket. He could play around the rim. Shaq was around the rim. Okay, Kareem could throw the sky hook. But we've never seen a guy that could shoot the three. He had the mid-range, and he could put the ball on the floor and finish at the rim. Now, not above the rim, at the rim. We've never seen a big that could do that. And I don't know if we'll ever see one that can do that, that is skilled as he is right now.
Chad, I want to give you this. And when you see Jokic, you see him in person. He's about 6'11", 7 feet, but he's wide.
Whoa. He's 7 what?
About 6'11", 7 feet. He's huge. And his shoulders are wide. So when he spins off you, when he makes a move, he's huge. He's huge, bro. And his arms are long, so he can't jump high. But when he's putting the ball above his head, when he's making a move, he's effective. And if you watch him, he's a lot stronger. He plays a finesse game, but he's so much stronger than he gets credit for. That's a strong boy right there. So when he's hitting the guards, He's not overpowering them. He's an unbelievable coordination, and he's just backing you under the rim, and he's looking out, and he's watching you. You know, the wildest thing he'll do, he'll watch the help. You get a great player who can pass, he'll sit there and he'll watch the help. And as soon as you come, he's throwing that backdoor lob to Aaron Gordon. He's making those type of plays. So I think even from a physical standpoint, he's just uniquely built with his coordination and size. And then you think how much he plays. So no, he's not a great defender. He's a wall-up defender. He's played more at the level in pick and rolls this year under Mike Malone that I've seen him play, and he will do it in spurts, but it's not something you want to rely upon.
Wait, hold on. I didn't know he was that goddamn tall, because if you look at his footwork, when he's in the post, even when he's out in goddamn space and he put the ball on the floor, I'm like, what the hell? I'm thinking he about 6'5", 6'7".
No,
he's tall. He's 6'11". He at least 6'11".
But you see his package though? To be that big, you see his footwork, to be that big, moving like that?
What? Soccer. He loves soccer. You look at guys, you look at Luka. Loves soccer.
Okay.
Look at Olajuwon. Olajuwon grew up playing soccer. That's why he had the footwork that he had. That's why he doing all this, the up and under drop step.
Right.
He's phenomenal. Shaq. Go ahead.
I got one for you, Ryan. Now I know Joker is that boy. I have a question.
Yeah,
now, y'all chat. Don't jump on me. I'm asking a question. if Boogie Cousins hadn't got hurt, how close would Boogie Cousins have been to like Joker?
It's funny you say that. I played with Boogie. And they have a very similar skill set because they have the wide shoulders.
Yes.
Now Boogie wasn't the passer like him, but as far as Boogie would feel a double team, spin off baseline, had Euro step. Boogie could play the three. He could run the wing if he wanted to, bro. Everything, absolutely, 100%.
People don't realize how Boogie.
Yeah.
Hey, Boogie was good, right?
He was Boogie, but I think Boogie is more athletic. Boogie can run.
Yes.
But it was not uncommon for Boogie to have 50-20 games. Had he not got injured, had he not Achilles and his ACL and all those injuries, he was special. Boogie was on his way to.
Okay, I'll give you this. I think the tough thing with DeMarcus, and I played with Boogie, that's one of my favorite teammates ever. You know, it's Chad. Boogie's a guy that you see some of the things he does on the court with his energy that he would bring. Some of the stuff he said, honestly, he'd tell you himself he'd have liked to reel some of that stuff. But off the court, the softest spoken, coolest dude ever. You know what I'm saying? Did he have some moments in practice where we heated or getting into it? Absolutely, but he's a good dude at heart. Love that dude. And I will say, you know, the thing with DeMarcus, the difference between him and the European game, what they teach here, you know, when Boogie played his best, he had to be angry. He had to be mad. And his emotion got him to that place. And Jokic early in his career was quiet, calm. He wasn't that. I'm not going to ever say he wasn't that good, but he didn't have rah-rah. Like Mike Malone put that dog in him. And for Boogie, before he was able to slow the game down mentally for himself, he ended up injured, as Unc said. And what's funny that when you see guys get to the 30s, get to the age, you know, Haliburton has an old soul. He got an old game. His daddy taught him very well about playing the game, or whoever coached him very well. But I remember when I played with KG, Chad, I don't know if you remember, KG would take, shout out KG. KG would hit his hand off the backboard,
at the beginning of the game.
And I thought he was crazy. Everybody thought he was crazy. And then we said, and I remember going up to Ticket, and I said, Ticket, I remember asking him, and he actually put years on my career. I said, how are you pumped up every game? How are you so pumped up every game? Because, you know, as a young guy, we play on emotion. Boogie played on emotion, definitely at a much higher level than I did. And KG said, young, what you mean? I said, I see you do this, you're in a full sweat, the yelling and all that. He said, I'm as calm as can be. He said, watch me before the game. I'm taking breaths, I'm breathing, I'm calm. He said, look at me during the timeouts. He said, are you watching me, youngin? I said, nah, you turned up, right? He said, I'm sitting there breathing. I'm thinking about the game plan. I'm thinking about the things that we need to go through to get to. So if Boogie had got to that point, if he had got that veteran maturity, we would be bringing his name into these conversations. He just didn't get to that point. But when you're young, Us American-born players, we play from a place of pain and hurt and passion, and then you get older and you learn how to refine it. Some of the guys never get to that point in their careers where they can refine it and play off their mental stability. But a guy like Jokic, he was turned up, he has it, he knows the game, man. So it's fun to watch.
Aaron Gordon has been phenomenal these playoffs. He's averaging 19 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, shooting 51% from the floor, and he has 2 game winners. He had 22 points last night, and Yoke obviously had that monster game, 15 of 29. He was at 42. He had 42 points, 22 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, 2 blocks. He did have the 5. He did have the 7 turnovers, but Murray got it going late in the ball game. Had 21. Christian Brown had 11. Russ, the Russ experience. You know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get all out effort. You're gonna get some turnovers, but you're gonna get some steals. You're gonna get a block. You're gonna get some great finishes. You're gonna get some air balls. You're gonna get some big made threes. They needed all of that to offset what they didn't get from Michael Porter Jr. He gave him 2 points on 1 of 8 shooting. And I understand the shoulder, but bro, you can't give him 2. You can't give him 2 because the Thunder had 20. They had 6 guys in double figures. Shea with 33. Caruso had 20 off the bench. You had Lou Dort, 4 of 9 from 3. He had 14. Isaiah Hartenstein had 12. Jalen Williams had 16. He was 5 of 20. He hadn't shot the ball particularly well. Chet Holmgren had 12, but it was those 2 missed free throws. You could tell. It normally happens like that, Ryan. A guy he. You know how you smoke a layup on one end and they go back down on the other end and get a 3. You're like, damn, that's a 5-point swing.
Yeah.
Unc, I love Chet, so I don't want to do this. But the key, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it. The key to beating Oklahoma City is attacking Chet. You saw he got link? No, I'm not going to say he's the weak link, but he hasn't put on the strength. He doesn't have the experience in the playoffs yet. There's a play before those missed free throws. And Gordon running the wing. They hit him ahead. He goes face to face with Chet, and he monkey dunked him. He monkey and Ocho. When you get leveled, it's a whole different. Now, Chad, you crazy. So you got knocked out by Ray Lewis. You got knocked out by how he hit me. You're gonna keep playing. Couple people like you're gonna keep playing. But when you get done and that Chet was messed up since. So for him, you can be skinny. I was skinny, but I wouldn't. I don't want to call him soft. I think that's disrespectful to a professional athlete. You got to know how to hold your ground. He got in that. If Gordon's going up for a dunk, you take that joker out the air. You take that joker. He might get an and one, but he ain't dunking it. Okay, so he's gonna have to make those plays. But when you beat Oklahoma City and why the Houston Rockets had success against them, they were physical and they attacked Chet. If he was guard big Steve-O underneath, Steve-O hit the boards, walked him underneath, got a rebound. If he guarded Şengün was right through his chest. He didn't even make moves, huh? He was right through his chest. So what you're seeing with Oklahoma City and Denver, whether it's Gordon, whether it's Jokic, they're making it so you can't hide Chet. Chet is an unbelievable weak side shot blocker. And if you don't put your hands on him, he can play in space. In football, it's like a team. Remember the Colts. The Colts had a small secondary. They had small linemen up front. If you were down and they were rushing you, you couldn't stop them. Mathis, Freeney, and them boys, you couldn't stop them. It was a chance. But if you could run the ball and manage the game and attack Mathis and Freeney and those guys, you had a shot because they were small. Oklahoma City is small. So that's something similar that you're seeing right there. So as I look for it, Denver found something. They're crisp off of playing a game 7, and they had the experience. And I said this before. I said whoever wins that Clippers-Nuggets series might be coming out the West.
Wow. They look good. The Celtics, they gave one away. 45 missed threes. Jalen Brown, 7 of 20, 1 of 10 from 3. Jason Tatum, 7 of 23, 4 of 15 from 3. Derek White, 6 of 18, 5 of 16 from 3. Porzingis played 13 minutes. He was dealing with some injuries. The 45 missed threes are more than the Knicks shot threes. The Knicks had been 0-10 versus top 3 teams this season. They're undefeated against them in the playoffs. I don't get the Celtics. If the Celtics is on, I don't like watching them play because all they do is gonna come down and jack up threes. Now, I watched last night Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum shot a 3. He got the rebound, shot another 3. Somebody else got the rebound, kicked it to him. He shot another 3. Guess what? They got the rebound again. I give you one more guess. What you think he did, Ryan, when he got the ball back?
Shot a 3.
How about this here? How about this, Ocho? The Celtics shot the ball 20 times in the third quarter. 19 of them was threes. Hey. At what point in time do you say, Ryan, hey, how about rerun? Hey, Missoula. Come on. Hey, ref, give me a full one. I want a full one.
Yeah. But
hey, guys, come on. Let's run a set. Let's get something going to the basket.
Right. I got a question, though, Unc and Ryan.
Yeah.
They just won an NBA championship. Doing what last year? Shooting what?
Yeah, that was last year.
Okay, but this year they had a record. They had the best record in the East, if I'm not correct, right?
Yeah. No, the Cavs had the best record in the East.
Okay, the Cavs had the second best record. They had the second best record in the East by doing what? Shooting what?
But here's the thing, Ocho. In the postseason, you pay for that. You see what happened? Now you blew the Knicks. You blew the Knicks out. You had a 20-point, Ocho. You had a 20-point lead.
Yeah,
a 20-point lead.
They struggle.
And you keep shooting. At what point in time do you say, "Hey, man, we done missed 12 of these things in a row"? You don't want to get anything going to the basket.
Everybody was missing. It wasn't just one person. Nobody was hitting.
Let's see, 25, 41. So Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, and Derek White was 10 for 41 from the 3.
Let me challenge you right now.
Go ahead.
You talked about Missoula, but the first person you talked about was who? Tatum, right?
Tatum.
Your best player has the green light to take the basketball, get on the elbow, call his own number, and go one-on-one and go make a play. Now, granted, Mikal Bridges is a dog. Okay, OG is a dog. New York has 2
Well, you can't be the face of the NBA if you can't beat Mikal Bridges.
And Mikal ain't no.
You can't be the face of the NBA.
Mikal a dog though.
I don't care if he's an alibi. One of the toughest dogs in the Turkish region. I don't care if he's a dogo. Whatever dog. What dog you want? You want a South African Barbel? Whatever dog you want. You cannot be the face of the NBA if you're telling me that. Because you tell me what face of the NBA couldn't go get it regardless of who was guarding it.
But here's the thing. You're right. For JT, go get the ball and go make a play. Give Mikal Bridges his love. And you're right when you're saying that. You got to go make a play. He's got to go get his shot off in that moment. Now, in terms of the series, I don't know where you guys stand on this. Ocho, I don't know if you're jumping on the Knicks. I don't know if you.
Listen, hey, right? I don't have no horse in the race. And coming out the East, I'm a Heat fan.
Chad. Well, put your hat on because I want to read this to you. And this jumped out to me the most when you talk about the Knicks. And I'm happy when the Knicks are good, it's good for basketball. Mikal Bridges, 51 minutes. OG, 46 minutes. Brunson, 44 minutes. Josh Hart, 45 minutes. You can't win like that against the Celtics because the Celtics, 44, 45, 44 for Jason Tatum, Derek White, and Jalen Brown. They're going to take a rest. They're going to get breaks. Right. They've been conditioned to have their breaks during the season, hence why their record wasn't like that. They were the second in the East. Were they talented enough to be the first? Come on, fellas. Absolutely. So these are the times they have to turn it on. Give New York some credit. Give Jalen Brunson some credit. You talk about dog. Don't go, don't have it. That ain't no baby dog. I know he little. Man.
I love that dude. I love his game.
He can get it, boy.
They're top 5. New York's top 5 and the Celtics top 5, they even out. But when you get down and you talk about rest, when you talk about how hard it was for you to get there, when you talk about minutes and wear and tear, I'm going to give Boston that edge at the end of the day. But talent-wise, you could go like this.
Well, because when you look at it, Mikal Bridges can play defense. OG can play defense. Josh Hart can play defense. So if you look at the three offensive weapons, so if you go JT, JB, Derek White, we right there with you. We right there with you. And so now you got Cat. Now Cat is not known as a defensive, but he can pull their bigs. Now it'll be interesting to see what Porzingis brings back to the table because he only played 13 minutes. And they're a different team when Porzingis is healthy and when he's on the floor doing what he's doing because he can shoot the three, he can run the floor, he can protect the rim. So now they don't really play him, and they do some, him and Al Horford, but Al gonna give you great production on the defensive end. He can hit big threes. I thought Holiday did a great job yesterday. And you see, just about every time down the floor, Holiday would take him, then Derek White would take him. Then JB would get a little of him. So they tried to wear him down. They tried to wear him down. Go ahead, Ryan.
What you think about this? And Chad, tell me if I'm wrong with this. I've always felt like the key to the Celtics was Drew Holiday. And I feel like in those moments, obviously I'm calling those two guys out. Drew Holiday's, and my apologies, he's good enough to have gone and got the ball. And I feel like when he's on, he changes their team. He's the guy you can't match up with. Because when you go through the scouting report, you're thinking about pressing Tatum off the three-point line, helping on the weak side, not letting Jaylen Brown bully you to his right hand. Those are the common sense plays. But Drew Holiday is the guy who can put you in jail. He's a big guard, Chad. He can take you underneath, and you can't help. When Golden State was good, Chad, you was like, you one-on-one, I got Curry, I can't leave. Yeah. You one-on-one, I got Klay Thompson, I can't leave. They shoot the three, maybe not like Golden State. Obviously, statistically, they're better, or they hit more threes, but you can't help. So if I'm Drew Holiday, I'm putting Brunson in jail. Ain't no way Brunson guards me. As a matter of fact, ain't no way. I love Josh Hart. Ain't no way Josh Hart guards me. Put him in jail. If the help comes, you could move the basketball. So I think if there's more of a focus with Drew Holiday and his minutes offensively, I think he's the guy that really gets them going.
I think the key last night for the Knicks was OG because he's 10 or 20
OG got better.
6'11".
He got better. He got better.
He played unbelievable. Like, you look, you better have a big lead in clutch time if you're gonna beat the Knicks, because that little left-handed joker, Brunson, he gonna get his points now. Well, he gonna hit a three. He gonna get to his midi, or you gonna foul him. He gonna go to the free throw line. But you better have a substantial lead. Yeah. But and I hate saying clutch because it wouldn't be clutch time if the game is more than 5 points in the last 5 minutes. But boy, every shot. Hell, I thought he wanted a regulation because the ball did everything but go in the hoop when he went to the basket and he went over Al's outstretched arm. Mm-hmm. But I do think the Celtics make right tomorrow and win that game.
Wait. Whoa.
They was up 20, Ocho. They was up 20, Ocho. They're not going to go down 0-2.
So you still think, you got the Celtics to win the series?
Yes, I do.
Ryan, you got the Celtics to win the series?
Yeah. For what I said, it's too many minutes for New York. They got to play too many. They're going to run out of gas. Here's this, though, and this is my thing kind of with the Celtics, and I think this was an ego-driven move, with all due respect to Mazzulla and those guys. So, Chad, when you first got in the league and you saw one-on-one, and you had one-on-one, what did you expect every single time?
I expected the ball to come.
Jalen Brunson came off a pick and roll, coverage 1 through 5 switch off. He had Al Horford, barbecue chicken. He had Derek White.
Stop doing it. Stop.
Barbecue chicken. What? Chad, at what point did they realize, don't leave Ocho alone? You Chad Johnson there. You Ocho came later. Don't leave Chad Johnson alone. Right. Don't leave him alone. Don't leave leave Jalen Brunson alone.
Not with Al Horford.
Blitz.
And that's what the great was going to do. Hey, let me find out. Hey, Ocho, just like anything else, you find out you got the hook up at the store. Hey, man, such and such a hook you up at the store. What you going to do? You going to go down? You going to go down there and get that hook up? Oh, yeah. Hey, man, look here. You keep calling. What did Ant-Man do against the Lakers? He kept calling, give me Luka. Give me Rui. Nah, no, 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 no. I ain't trying to get Vanderbilt. I ain't trying to get Finney. Hey, give
Yeah,
me
yeah,
one of
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You find a
Yeah.
weak link, you find a fish, and you don't let him off the hook. I got to bring you into. I got to get you in the boat, and that's what they did. And you
Yeah.
see what the Knicks did. They went to that pick and roll, and every time I know Al played great defense, but Al is not staying in front of Jalen Brooks. He gonna get to that step back, or he gonna do the hezzy and
Yeah,
get to the
yeah,
basket.
Mhm.
So you got a choice.
I got something you don't want to hear right now.
With
So
that,
if I'm New York and I'm Tibbs and I say, how do I win this series? How do I win this series? I'm gonna
pray.
say something you don't want to know. I mean that too. That too. Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns is somebody that that Boston would struggle to match up with. He had 14 points. He's a +8, 31 minutes. Good, solid game. And
He was in
part of
foul
him,
trouble.
yeah, you can't be in foul trouble. Chad, am I wrong by saying it? Because if I'm New York,
Hold on. I'm getting ready to ask you which Karl Anthony Towns you talk about. You talk about the one that's gonna be in the blocking in the post, or you gonna talk about
He ain't gonna be in the
mid-range?
block in the post because you don't want to play
Or you
with the
gonna
back
talk
to the
about
basket.
Karl
That's
Anthony Towns
everybody's
shooting,
problem with him, Ryan.
shooting the three? Which Karl Anthony Towns?
if he gets his mind made up,
Yeah,
I don't think Boston can match. Now Porzingis is got size. They got
yeah,
some bodies they can throw at him, but
right.
he's the guy that you go like I'm telling you from the Celtics standpoint, they're gonna we don't want to see him on the block. We don't want to see
Right.
him driving. We gotta get him you have to attack him and pick and roll. You gotta
Right.
spread the floor and get him off the floor and get him in foul trouble. But if you can go at him, I mean, he played 31 minutes.
Yeah.
That's an X factor. If I'm New
Yeah.
York and Cat starts to take over, because I know I got Brunson. I
Right.
know I got Brunson. I know OG is hooping. I know Josh Hart gonna be there when you need him. Karl Anthony Towns is a guy who can sway this series. Now, unfortunately, we've been saying this for a long time. I think he's had a heck of a year. I think if we're going to be honest, Minnesota probably lost. If Minnesota had Karl Anthony Towns tonight, they win this game because you wouldn't have been guarding them the way they was guarding them. You wouldn't have been going small, hypothetically. But at the end of the
No.
day, if he takes over and takes a double team, if they have to double him, now you got action.
Mhm. I like it.
Draymond Green was asked if Steph Curry was good when he walked off the floor. Steph told him, "I'll be back." Draymond said the Warriors played several minutes without knowing Steph was out with a hamstring injury. He says Robin turned into Batman and Alfred turned into Robin. Who's Robin and who was Alfred? I think Jimmy was Robin that turned into Batman, and Draymond was Alfred that turned into Robin.
Hey, let me ask y'all this, because this is such a unique thing that happened tonight, and I want y'all to understand this. As basketball players, we don't, unless we have something going from the summer or something weird, we don't get hamstring injuries. What do y'all expect out of a hamstring? It didn't look like maybe just a grade one. If I'm no medical expert, low level, but like how do y'all? Because y'all always have hamstring injuries.
That was a low level grade one hamstring. You make a certain movement, and it pull and it grab you.
Yep.
And you catch it just in time where it doesn't pull bad, but it's bad. It's enough where okay, you know what? I got to go sit this one out. I got to sit this down. I got to get me an MRI in the morning, which is why the injury that I think, based on what I saw from Steph, that's 2 weeks. That's 2 weeks.
They ain't got 2 weeks.
Hopefully he was kind of dehydrated and it's just a cramp, and he get rehydrated. It's going to be a little sore. And hopefully, he, like you said, he'll miss one game and then he can come back. Now, they must run and get 2 games. Now, hey, I got an extra game I can play with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got an extra game I can play with. I just like the way they play without their big guy. And that's why you go get a Jimmy Butler. I'm not so sure if you don't have Jimmy Butler, you're even in this situation. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you get past Houston
100%.
without Jimmy Butler.
100%.
So with that
100%.
being said, and when Jimmy goes down, Steph picks up, you get guys filling in doing a little extra. Okay, fine, you can live with that. But it's going to be interesting to see how how Minnesota responds, how they defend, knowing they don't have to worry about all eyes on Steph Curry and worried about him running up and down the court, sideline, baseline to baseline, coming off picks, hitting all those things. It's going to be interesting to see how they defend the Warriors moving forward without Steph.
I'm going to tell you one thing. They're going to run Buddy Hield off the line. They're going to be able to keep size. They're going to keep size, and they're going to pack the paint on Jimmy Butler. And I think the physicality ramps up on the defensive end. And if I know anything about Chris Finch, defensively, he's a mastermind. He's an expert. So now you don't have to expend your help. And now the confidence is not going to be there. Now for Golden State, and I want to know how you guys feel about this, they're hard to play because they hold the ball. They take their time.
Yeah.
They if they have a fast break, they'll throw it ahead. And it's similar to Denver. Denver will throw the ball ahead if they have a fast break. If not, they wait for Jokic. He gets up the court and they kind of take their time. But Golden State holds the ball. And if you're Anthony Edwards, what's Anthony Edwards? He wants the ball. He's excited. And now you take him out of rhythm. Ant-Man was out of rhythm in the first half. He was rusty because they got done with their series early. They ran through the Lakers. Sorry, Unc. I know you take a heat for that. They ran through the Lakers. I'm going to throw that out there. But they keep you out of rhythm. So Golden State is dangerous and frustrated to a young team that doesn't want to grind like that. And those are the problems that Minnesota has. So Minnesota is going to have to try to create turnovers and pace in transition. Football is somebody holding the ball. Y'all prolific on offense. We're gonna hold the ball. We're not gonna let you get touches.
Yeah. Well, that's what you have to do. If remember Ocho, the first Super Bowl the Eagles played against Patrick Mahomes. They were snapping the ball each time under 5 seconds because I want to minimize Patrick Mahomes' TOP, time of possession. I don't want him to have all this time, so I'm going to run as much time off the clock. Everything is snapped under 5 seconds. So we score a touchdown. We want to eat 9-10 minutes off the clock.
Right.
But. It worked the first time. This last Super Bowl, they just had the better team, and I'm not surprised they won. I'm surprised by how much they won by, not that they won. Draymond Green calls out Dillion Brooks for not shaking anyone's hand after the game. Draymond labels him a sucker and says nobody respects him. Ryan, that's your guy. You call the Rockets game. You got to defend this action.
Man, I love Dillion Brooks. Dillon's going to do what he wants to do. And at the end of the day, when these two personalities collided, I don't think we would have expected anything less with Dillion Brooks and Draymond. And the unique part about Draymond, shout out to Dre, by the way. I like you later. I didn't like you a couple of days ago. Is that, and I'm still sore over that Game 7. He is able to play the game and then pop on his podcast the next day and talk his trash. He don't got to wait for the media. He don't got to do it in the presser. You have to come to him, and he's not reliant on scoring. So he can back it up with his defense. He can back it up with his defense. He can back it up with his IQ. Draymond, I played against you. I know your brother. All the flails and all the stuff, they're calculated. They're smart. When his team needs something, he brings it to the table. Tonight, he had 3 or 4 three-pointers as soon as Steph Curry stepped off the floor from a point total. So back to him and Dillion Brooks. Dillion has been unbelievable for Houston, Houston's culture, what he brings to the table. It's a toughness and an energy, and he's a villain. He plays that role. And you know what? Draymond going to defend Steph. He said what he said about Steph in the presser. That's who Dillion Brooks is, and we love him and embrace him. And again, with those two personalities, I expect nothing less.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. They're kind of alike, really. I mean, obviously, Draymond is more accomplished. He's asked
and Draymond didn't play with Steph. Steph is the most likable person on the planet, man.
Yeah, everybody. It's hard to dislike him because you know why, Ryan? I think everybody likes him because he's the common man. You can see, like, man, he ain't 6'9", he ain't 7 foot, he ain't got shoulders like Dwight Howard. He's just like a common man. Most guys, LeBron is 6'9". Most of the guys are hulking.
100%.
And so I can't be him. Man, Steph Curry looked like a guy walking down the street.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's so likable. You saw him with you saw his daughter. She was on his lap. Riley, we fell in love with Riley.
Yeah.
Aisha, they do a great job. He got kids, everything. So it's just hard to dislike him. You like, man, I don't like. Now I like Golden State. I just don't like Draymond. I'm saying that's how people look at it. Man, I love Golden State. If they have Draymond, I really like him.
Right.
But I'm not so sure if they didn't have Draymond, they could be Golden State that we know of today.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Mm-mm.
Oh, he's so smart. Listen, I think it was game 2, and it was game 2 of game 1, and our guys were going on the run. All of a sudden, man, he just pushed somebody to the floor. Our guys were like doing something, and we're building energy. The game had a flow. He just messed the flow up, dog. But he knows. Listen. And they're baiting them on the internet because they realize this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in a contest. Draymond does, forget what he does. He gets a technical foul, right? Whoop, whoop, tech. So now we're up there calling the game. We're going, he gets one more. He's gone. Tyrese picks his pockets. Tari's about to go down and score. We start a fast break. Draymond leg kicks Tyrese, and Tari goes down, and Draymond pretends like his feet fall into Tari's head. And he loves Tari, by the way. So this is just basketball. And the refs look at him. We're like, he's gone. Finally, he's out. It's over. The referee came for the table and said, that's a flagrant 1. 2 technicals and you're gone. But if you have a flagrant and a technical, only Draymond would know that. Right. So the first one was unsportsmanlike. The second one was excessive contact. Right. But it wasn't the criteria to meet a flagrant 2. And only Draymond will go into a game knowing I got 2 mulligans to play with, and I'm going to do whatever it takes for my team to win. And that's the type of guy. You normally get that and Chad from the European players.
Right.
They grab you where they're not supposed to grab you. They elbow you. They spit in they do the dirty stuff. But Draymond had just figured that out from the standpoint of like, what do I need to do to be on the floor? There was nothing sexy about Draymond was a center in college. When he came into the league, we had 7 foot. Draymond got the worst name you can get from a draft report, a tweener. You remember that name? A tweener. Yeah. Tweener's a good name now because
I was a tweener.
You a tweener?
Yeah. They said I was too big. I was too big to play wide receiver. I was too small to play tight end.
No position. So Draymond he was a tweener. So that's a good thing now, but he wasn't 7 feet and he couldn't handle the ball per se well enough or shoot the ball to play on the wing. So he made a name for himself. You know what I'm saying? He made a name for himself and he's done enough, and it's unbelievable, honestly.
Yeah, I was too big and too slow to play wide receiver, Ocho, but I was too small to play tight end. I did okay. I found
you only 6'2",
huh?
You only 6'2",
6'2", yeah. I played it like 228.
Y'all football numbers be lying. Chad all about 5'11".
No, I'm legit.
You ain't 6 feet, Chad.
I'm legit 6'2".
Man, I'm 6'3", man. What you talking about? You ain't seen me in a while.
Chad, you get on the court with me again, I'm putting them elbows in your face. I'm gonna tell you that, man.
Man, listen.
I went nice to you.
Dunk on it, Ryan.
Hey, listen. Everybody that has played in the NBA, including current players right now, everybody has tried to play me, and everybody has lost. Now, if you want me to add you to the hit list, I can add you to the hit list.
He got Joe.
Let me tell you something. We on the set of ESPN. And he talked crazy to me. And I'm like, man, whatever, we in the segment. Next thing I know, they done cleared the desk out. Me and him playing one-on-one. I turn it around. Chad just tackled me, bro. We can't play with football players. He grabbed my arm. He do. Chad, next time I'm giving you an elbow so you ain't got no trash to talk. And then, he gonna talk. Westbrook couldn't beat me. LeBron couldn't beat me. I said, Chad, come on, bro.
Hey,
Chad, come on.
All of them. Nobody. None of them.
Well, he and Joe got a bet too. He said he want Joe 1-on-1.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. I'm playing football rules. I'm playing
that's fine. That's fine. Hey, that's fine. I've been in the gym. Whatever you want to do. Elbows, it don't matter. I'm good.
Jalen Green takes blame for the Rockets' playoff loss to the Warriors. Green said he played like ish in the playoffs. Beside that one game, straight ish. I got to be better. Lowest field goal percentage this playoffs, minimum 75 field goal attempts. Jalen Green, 37.2. Malik Beasley, 37.3. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 41.5. Jason Tatum, 41.7. He did. With the exception of game 2, when he had 38, he was awful. And he probably going to be the part of that package that get KD into Houston.
Oh, you know why I love you asking me this right now? You know I love you asking me this right now. You know why I love you asking me this right now? Just do the Anthony Edwards. Man, a dog. No question. Ant-Man, a dog. Now, Jalen is behind Anthony Edwards, but he's comparable as far as the two guard, and hopefully you can see the progression be there. Golden State is really good defensively. Now, make no mistake, Jalen Green's got to get stronger.
Yes,
he just saw what the playoffs look like. He's got to learn how to move without the ball in his hands, and these are things we got the greatest coaching staff in the NBA with Ime Udoka and those boys. So there's going to be no question that he's going to have a long summer. And Jalen Green takes stuff personal. The boy don't forget. So he's going to be in the lab working on the things. He got his first, guys, it's his first taste of playoff basketball. Let's not overreact.
How old is Jalen? 21?
22, bro. 22 at most. 22 at most. So, and he playing against grown men. It was the worst matchup because they weren't more talented, with all due respect to Golden State, but they were smart and they were experienced. So they got physical with him. They forced him to his left hand.
Oh, he's 23.
And they pressed him. Okay. You saw what they did with Anthony Edwards.
But you know what it is? I think the thing is for Jalen is that, like you said, it was a terrible matchup, and he has to understand to whom much is given, much is required.
100%.
And I think the thing is that he has to understand that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Because if you want to be at that level, you got to be at that level. And I agree with you. I do believe he'll put that time in because you see the way, the jump that he made from 1 year to 2 year, 2 year to 3 year, he's only going to improve.
Right.
But if he plays like he plays in the regular season, y'all win that. You know y'all win that series, right?
100%. And you know what? You know what? I'm still sore right now. It was only Sunday. Our guys fought hard, and I didn't think they put their best foot forward. I thought we were much better. Even if we lost, I didn't think we put our best foot forward over here in Houston. But I wanted to sting. When you have that series that stings, you don't forget it. You go into an off season, you go to get better. And also, I don't know how y'all feel about this. For him, he's so athletic. Some guys got to dance to get like Brunson's small, and with all due respect, he's not a great athlete. So he got to dance and shoulder fit. Jalen can dribble to a spot and pull up, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do. And when he simplifies his game from the two-pointer, from the three, even going to the hole, maybe it's not a dunk, it's a floater, and he simplifies his game, that's going to be the difference. So you go, ain't no way Buddy Hield can guard me. Ain't no way Gary Payton II, because I'm going to get to a spot and I'm going to shoot right over him.
That's Kobe. That was Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Jalen Green takes the next step.
Right. I like.
And let me say this too, real quick. And you guys know players like this, young guys like this in situations. What he has doesn't grow on trees. The way the boy moves and jumps and runs and he got the it factor where when he gets hot, the boy's red hot.
Oh, yeah, he's streaky as hell.
Yeah.
But it don't grow on trees. When you have a guy who's that athletic, you're going to give more opportunities. You're going to see the value being there within him. And keep in mind, he did absolutely make strides, but the playoffs are a whole different beast.
But if you get a chance to get Kevin Durant, you package him?
I think the best thing with Houston right now, and this is above my pay grade, okay, first off, as we said, you have options where you can go in and you can say, guys, we're going to hold put with what we have. We have enough to where let's challenge and let everybody get a year older while we're still young in our 20s. We just played a bunch of 30-somethings and we're 20-something. Right. So I'd say they're not going to be there for that long.
Can y'all beat OKC in a 7-game series? Because they're younger than you guys.
OKC will be an excellent matchup. Did you see this year? Put them hands, feet, and paws on OKC. They did an excellent job about them.
You say playoffs are different now.
They just as young as we are. They not. You saw they don't have the experience. It would have been. It would have been a game. Even Minnesota would have been better for Houston because you trying to out athletic us. You're
Yeah.
not going to out athletic Houston. Now you might outthink. You might out experience. You might pull the antics like Draymond did. But athlete for athlete, you got him in Thompson going 1,000,000 miles per hour with Ant-Man sticking
like him.
with him like glue. He's different.
I like his game. He gonna be special.
He's different. But in terms of Houston, you can hold pat. Or if you go to get a guy, it's got to beat the right piece. So you have options in which you can play with. And for an organization, Rafael Stone done an unbelievable job because you don't want, like, Milwaukee's pressed. When Dame went down there pressed, they don't have moves they can make. Phoenix is pressed right now. The only thing they don't want to get rid of KD. You have to get rid of KD. Or if you get rid of Booker, you need the house to come back.
Oh, Booker's not going anywhere.
But another
everything you could have everything else.
What you think?
You're not getting Book.
But no. Book has a price. It's just the whole house. I need 4 draft picks. I need this guy. So very likely Booker's not going anywhere. But the reason I say that is the other organizations are pressed. Houston can sit back and chill. They don't have to make a move. They don't have to get Durant. They don't have to go after Giannis. You know what I'm saying? The asking price, they talk about Giannis on the block. It's going to be a high one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't need to do that.
He don't want to come to y'all. Giannis is reportedly have a short list. Howard Beck. Giannis wants to play in Los Angeles, New York, or Miami if he lives in Milwaukee. Los Angeles is not the Lakers. He's not going to play with LeBron and Luka. So that means the Clippers. Do the Clippers have? I don't know if the Clippers have anything to give up. What can they give up to get him? What do the Clippers have any first round draft picks?
No. It might not be draft picks. Zubac just had an unbelievable year. He might be on the table. Norman Powell should have been an all-star. If LeBron hadn't pulled up lame, I think Norm would have been an all-star if he had reported that he wasn't going to play in that game before. They got pieces. Yeah. So maybe it's not.
Hold on. You want me to give you a guy that's won 2 regular season MVPs, a finals MVP. He's about to be a first-team All-NBA for about the 7th or 8th straight year. And you talk about you got Norman Powell and Zubac?
No, you need some picks in there. Oh, you need some picks. But I'm saying
they ain't got no picks.
They got action.
I already told you.
Picks. I mean, it's probably you're gonna probably have to get like 4 or 5 teams involved, but you ain't got no picks.
Or let's say it's Harden per se. Maybe it's Harden. You know what I'm saying?
Who's gonna be your point guard?
You figure it out. You got Giannis. You go figure it out.
Well, they got Giannis in Milwaukee. They can't figure it out.
Well, I mean,
you see what happened when you start giving up them pieces? When you gave up True Holiday. Think about the look at Phoenix. The team that Phoenix went to the NBA Finals with, they broke that team up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Chris Paul was old. Chris Paul was old now. They had to do something.
Listen, I like y'all hypothetical.
He can give 7-8 assists a game. That's all we need from Chris Paul.
I understand the Clippers. I agree with you. It may possibly have to be a 3 or 4 team deal if it is the Clippers. So it wouldn't just be straight up. A lot of times those teams come with
think about what you gave up to get what you had to give up to get Paul George, what you had to give up to get Jay. I think was James Harden traded or he went there. I think they traded James Harden.
I almost want to say he was traded.
I think he was traded to the Clippers.
Yeah, I almost want to say he's traded. I'm not 100%. Shout out big dog Eddie Curry, man. Eddie Curry said we doing a great job, man. Eddie was a monster. Eddie, get on the Madden, man. Chad, you play soccer. I play Madden.
You play who?
I play Madden. I'm cold.
No, you ain't, man. You ain't cold. What you got your AC on? You probably cold because you got the AC on. You ain't cold at the game.
Chad, FIFA is your game. You
do realize I'm a part of Madden. I'm part of production, making the game being made, developing all that.
Chad, Chad, do you know I did the Madden broadcast this year?
Because
if you want to say compare, I'm a G League player. You're not beating a G Leaguer. I could beat the average Joe.
I'm a professional player.
You're not, Chad. You're great in FIFA. Unbelievable.
No, play me. Hey, matter of fact, let's make a bet. Let's make a bet in Madden.
Come on.
Let's play for 5,200.
Come on, Chad. 5,200 push-ups. Come on.
No, not push up. 5,200.
Come on, Chad. I'm gonna beat you. Thank you.
All right.
Easy money. Easy
All
money.
right.
Hey,
All
check
right.
this out, guys. Jason Pierre-Paul had his luxury Richard Mille watch stolen while attending F1 Formula One weekend party in Hollywood, Florida. JPP said he felt something fall off when a group of men boxed him while he tried to move through the packed club. Moments later, when a friend asked what time was it, he realized his 400 grand Richard Mille was gone.
Some bold boys. JPP about 6'5", just 6'5", 270, right?
You would have whooped somebody.
It was
JPP
easy to come out
big
because
man.
he missing a couple of appendages, so they slid it up.
Stop, dog. I wasn't stop.
Hey.
I wasn't gonna stop. Stop.
No, but you know
Stop,
what?
man.
But you know what? Ocho. But you know what? But you know what, Ryan, in all seriousness, that's a strap on watch. So it's easy to get off as opposed to, one like, what I'm saying, Ocho?
It depends on which one you have. 60 my RM 6702 is the Velcro.
Oh, well, that's easy to get off.
Yeah, so yeah, it's easy to get off. Somebody touch you, and especially, but you would feel something like that coming off.
He said he felt like something dropped off.
So how could you not look?
Oh, he felt something. Okay, okay.
I know they ain't taking off.
He felt something was off when a group of men boxed.
It's a big man right there. I know they ain't
boxed
taking off.
him in. So that's what they did, Ocho.
boxed him
Hey,
in.
Ocho, you know how you get, hey, you try to, excuse me. And them jokers done got it up off you.
Nah. You know what? You remember the movie? What's the movie with Margaret Robbie and Will Smith? Where they were
Margot Robbie.
stuff? Margaret Robbie. What's the movie?
Yeah. I know.
Where they were stealing stuff?
Focus.
Yeah, Focus. That sounds like something out of a movie.
So they touch it right here and they stealing something from over there.
Yeah, you could feel somebody taking something off your wrist.
Ocho, man, hey, you go to some of them foreign countries, Ocho, and them jokers have that cardboard. They be coming to, hey, whoop. Hey, back up.
Now, what do you do that is stolen? Chalk
Insurance?
it up.
Yeah, insurance. That's all you can do.
Yeah. He got that good insurance.
I hope he got insurance.
Yeah,
he got to. Go ahead and report that. JPP is a dog, bro. That's one of my favorite.
But you know what? It ain't. I don't care, man. Look, I've had stuff stolen. It ain't the same. It ain't.
Even when you get your money back?
No, because here's the thing. For me, those watches, each watch that I bought, it symbolized something because I was at a place where I had to take 2-3 years in order to get it. Now I can just go get it. It don't have the same meaning. You know what I'm saying, Ocho? When you save up and get that first Rolex, or you save up and you get your first Patek, it's different.
Right.
And now, you just go get it. I mean, watches, I like watches, but it doesn't have the same meaning I had 30 years ago when it was like, man, I saw that. And I got to okay, in 2 years, I'm going to save me enough money, do an autograph, do an appearance here, do an autograph signing there, Ocho. I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that date, black face, diamond bezel. I'm going to get that. Now, you go just get a watch, because, you make good money. It ain't the same to me. Somebody like, hey, Patek, AP, Vacheron, FP Jorn. No. Marlon Humphrey had a wild take this week. He tweeted, breakfast food is so weak. I've been skipping it and waiting until what restaurants open earliest for lunch. Nah, I'm a breakfast guy.
Yeah, I'm a breakfast guy too. He tripping. Every morning, I got 3 places. Either I'm going to McDonald's to get my usual, I'm going to IHOP to get my 2 for $2, or I go to First Watch. Oh, but I got another one. Too, Uncle. If you ever come down here in Miami, you too, Ryan, y'all got to try Just Spoons.
Okay.
Hey man, answer your phone when I hit you, Chad. Don't tell me.
I got a new number.
No, you don't.
Hey,
Answer your phone. Text me, dog.
I do have
answer your phone when I hit you, Chad.
I got you. I do have a new number.
You hit Chad. What's up, man? What you need? Oh, okay.
Nah,
I love breakfast though. I love grits,
right?
Eggs, bacon crispy. If it's gonna be sausage, it's gonna be sausage patties.
Right.
Pancakes, I take pancakes over French toast. It'd be pancakes first, French toast
Right.
second, a waffle third. I'm not a big waffle guy because they get soggy too quick. I mean, I can do eggs Benedict, but it's not a must have. But
Right.
scrambled eggs, grits, bacon, or sausage. I mean,
Y'all not gonna like me. I've been fasting for breakfast.
Hey, Unc, hold
Huh?
on. I just thought about it. Boy,
What?
you been to Grist Cafe yet?
where is that at?
Man, right where you at? What you talking about?
I'm gonna have to go to it then. Grits
Man,
Cafe,
tell 'em-
you heard of that?
Man, hey, I guarantee you, I all jokes. Let me take my glasses off so you know I ain't bullshitting. I guarantee you love Grist Cafe. I bet you that. And everything
love grits.
everything you just named, they got.
I mean, I used to go like during the week in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
The Ritz Carlton used to have breakfast buffet
Yeah.
for them grits.
Hold
So
on.
I
But
started to hire that guy one time to just make breakfast. Say, look here, bro, I just need you to break breakfast like 4 days a
Right.
week.
Grist Cafe is us though. It's us. You get what I'm trying to say?
I'm gonna check it out.
What you saying,
Yeah,
Chad?
yeah.
I'm gonna
I'm
check it
trying
out.
to-
Then
I'm trying
Ocho.
to say-
What you
I'm
trying
gonna
to
say
say,
Ocho
Chad?
sent me.
Hey, I'm trying to say it's us. Like it's
What's up?
Yeah. Well,
I'm trying
if they cooking grits, I'm pretty sure it is us.
okay. Okay, yeah. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Because everybody can't cook grits now, Ocho.
Oh no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Hey, they give you these croissants to go with the before the breakfast come.
Yeah.
It's in, hold on. It's in LA.
Nah.
Now, I will tell y'all
Oh,
fair.
yeah.
We don't want everybody. We don't want everybody inundating it. All right, Ocho. We had the 100. We had the 100 men versus the gorilla. Now they got another one. 100 Americans versus 100 British people. Who's winning? Check out this video.
100 British people versus 100 Americans, fist fight, no weapons. And I'm gonna make it more interesting. The British people get 20 savages from Birmingham, London, Manchester, Nottingham, and Liverpool. And the Americans get 20 savages from Louisiana, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, and where else? Texas. Who wins that fight? Let me know in the comment section, you know, I'm sweating. No weapons, and you can't sneak in no shranks either. No guans, you know, I'm sweating. Leave it in the comment section, let me know. Boy.
I think the Americans gonna beat the hell out y'all.
Who?
I think the Americans gonna win.
I mean,
You know what? It's gonna be rowdy because you know a lot of them from Birmingham and where he named Ireland.
Hey.
They soccer fans, man. They be on one, Ocho.
they don't play. They don't play. They die about soccer.
Yeah,
They are willing to die. Anybody that's willing to die about a sport, they don't play.
We already beat them, Ocho. How you think we became America? Ta-da!
Yeah.
I mean, damn.
Hey, that's a good one.
So we good. Hey, bro, we good. We already won up.
That's a good one.
Ah. All right, guys, it's time for our last segment of the evening. It's time for Q&A.
Woo.
All right, Sheldon Pope wants to know, Ryan, who's a bigger figure in Boston? Paul Pierce or Tom Brady?
Who asked that?
Let me tell you
Sheldon
something.
Pope.
That's a good question, though.
I love Paul Pierce. What Paul did for Boston, you can question. But Thomas Edward Brady, Tom Brady is the go-to ball goats. So even beyond Boston, his name is unquestionable. But Paul got his stripes, man. You know what I'm saying? I need people to put respect on Paul's
But
name.
don't you
now,
think?
man.
Don't you think, Paul? Don't you think he comes behind? Let's see, Larry Bird. Don't you think he comes behind Bobby Orr? Don't you think he comes behind Ted Williams? Don't you think he comes behind Bill Russell? That's just four.
100%. Yeah,
Tom
but
Brady. Tom Brady. Let me ask you. Here's the thing: if we do a Mount Rushmore, because I think this is the way you have to do it when you do.
Yeah.
If you do a Mount Rushmore, who's going on Boston's Mount Rushmore?
Larry Bird, Red Auerbach, Brady, And shoot, if you want to go a coach, you go Belichick, obviously for what he's done. Big Bill, right? If we put names, I'm not familiar with baseball. Maybe there's another name in there.
Ted
Boxing,
Williams.
there you go, Ted Williams. So, I mean, there you go.
I mean, are we sure?
Of our generation, Paul takes the basketball, but we can't compare with those other sports, I don't believe.
Because are we sure Paul is going to be in front of Big Papi? But they love, they love Big Papi in Boston.
Yeah. That's a tough one. I love Paul. Shout out P, former teammate. I'm gonna put him on there. He my teammate. I played with Paul. He my guy.
Black Leg 71. Hey, Uncle Ocho, I want to bet y'all 5,200 that Boston make them threes in game 2. Well, I hope they don't have back-to-back games where they miss 45 threes, but I don't know if they should take 60 threes.
They won't. They won't have another game like that.
Aaron Owens said the Cavs got me ready to crash out. I'm sick. Bro, this thing, it's hard for me to see a scenario. It's hard for me to see a scenario in which they win this series, right? I don't know what you're thinking.
But I said it from the beginning because Indiana, they're clutch. They're underrated. Miles Turner is a headache because he can pop and shoot threes and he can dive and block shots. And then they injured. It's a mental thing right now with Cleveland. And when they get back to Indiana, they're going to be going crazy. And it's not like this is a team with the Cavaliers that we're looking at. We're going, man, we know who we know who Golden State was going to be in Game 7. It's tough. You know who you knew who Denver was going to be. Jokic on those boys. You still figuring out who the Cavs are. They're very talented, unbelievable year, but the challenge is, they got to know who they're going to be showing up, and we don't have that confidence yet.
Devin Jett said Cavs about to fold like Ryan Hollins and Madden. Miss Patrice said, Ant this, Ant that. They got that whooped on with no Steph in the second half. Hell, they have Steph from midway through the second quarter on. The 6-foot Aquarius. Hey, before Sabonis, we had Bill Walton. True. Bill Walton was a great passing big man. Knees went, knee and foot and feet problems. And normally that's what happened with big guys. Feet.
Yeah.
Too injured.
Hard. Josh R98, 45 threes. Ashy knees. Chaz don't sneeze. Warriors in 5. Man, that concludes this episode of Nightcap. Thank you guys for tuning in as we saw the Golden State Warriors go on the road and win Game 1. First time in NBA history, all 4 road teams won Game 1. And to make it matters worse, Indy went up on the road and won both games. In dramatic fashion tonight, Tyrese Haliburton, game-winning 3 with 1.1 second after being down by 7 with 50 seconds left in the ball game. They come all the way back, was down by as many as 20 points at one point in time, come all the way back to take a 2-0 lead heading to Indy. They can close out the series and don't have to take a plane again until the Eastern Conference Finals. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of Nightcap. Y'all know me. I'm your favorite unk, Shannon Sharpe, my partner and co-host, the Liberty City legend, the Bingo Ring of Fame honoree, the Pro Bowler. That's Chad Ochocinco Johnson. And stopping by to contribute to the basketball discussion, the Rockets radio broadcast, Pasadena native, UCLA alum. He said he was a 7-foot high jumper, but I didn't read that anywhere. So I'm going to have to take his word for it. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Hollins. Ryan, thank you for joining us. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit the like button and go subscribe to the Nightcap podcast feed wherever you get your podcast from. Thank you guys for your support and your continued support, because thanks to you, Nightcap is what it's become. Make sure you check out Shea by La Portier. We do have it in stock. It is a premium VSOP cognac, and we currently have the best VSOP cognac on the market. The awards and the taste from the fans tell us we do so. If you cannot find it in a city or state near you, order it. We ship it directly to your door. Please drink responsibly and stay safe. Go check out my media company page on all of its platforms, Shay Media, and my clothing company, 84 with 84 being spelled out. The link is pinned in the chat. Supplies are limited, and once they're gone, they're gone. Tickets for our Not Safe for Work tour are on sale. Our 8 stops are Baltimore, Philly, Charlotte, LA, Miami, NYC, Chicago, and Detroit. Tickets can be found at shayshaymedia.com/tour. That's shayshaymedia.com/tour. Go get your tickets now. Ryan, thank you for joining us, man. Appreciate the breakdown, the analysis. Best of luck. Stay healthy. Good luck to your Rockets next year. Stop back and join us. Stop back by and join us sometime, bro.
Appreciate it, brother,
That's
man.
it. I'm He's Ocho. That's Ryan. See you tomorrow.
All right, boss. I'm gonna see you.